In the beginning, there was heavy metal, but in the 1980s, a style emerged. That style being thrash metal, whose speed, aggressive riffing, socio-conscious lyricism in some points, and other points just ridiculous lyricism, not to mention frantic solos, caused a lot of people to really convert over to the heavier dark side. Bands such as Slayer, Metallica, Exodus, and more were able to find huge success, and now, here in the 2000s, in the new millennium, there are modern thrash metal bands that have been able to recapture that magic and bring thrash back to the forefront once again, to the point that here in 2017, 4 thrash metal albums already seem like they are primed for the top 50 of all time list here for 2017. Let's identify some of these terrific acts from the new millennium that has taken thrash by storm and is starting to make it their own. This is the top 10 modern thrash metal bands, and the title of that is a bit of a misnomer, principally because whenever it comes to these 10, really any order would do. Either which way, you're getting 10 fantastic slabs of thrash metal that may even have some other tricks up their sleeves. So let's get started with number 10, which is Toxic Holocaust. I can remember whenever Municipal Waste first came out, Toxic Holocaust was not that far behind. The absolute speed that this band is able to really give almost delivers a punk-like feel, which was one of the cornerstones of early thrash metal. But Toxic Holocaust has certainly evolved throughout the years, though still retaining some of their very lo-fi credibility. Take a look at some of their album covers and you'll understand exactly what that means. These guys certainly have a lot to offer for the emerging thrash pupil. Number 9 is Revocation. Maybe this is more of a technical death metal band, but they certainly have a lot of thrash influence within their sound. That's what actually yields them on this list, considering it is part of that hybrid metal philosophy. These guys have been going strong since the latter portions of the 2000s, and with each subsequent album, they seem to be taking more and more risks and building more and more charm amid their fan base. Scope these guys out if you haven't already. Number 8 is Skeleton Witch, going back to a more pure philosophy, but this time also adding a little bit more of a death metal vocal department. The speed, the aggression, and the solos is what's giving these guys the cut above, not to mention, with their most recent output, they have decided to emerge a little bit further and sample with some longer material. It's definitely a risk, but it's a risk that paid off, considering now the toolkit that Skeleton Witch has at their disposal is fantastically large. Eagerly anticipate their next release, or get on board if you're not on board right now. Number 7 is Destroyer 666, hailing from Down Under. This is a band that's able to use thrash metal alongside of black metal, which you might think seems like two completely different sides of the heavy metal coin, but in reality, the two go together like hands in a glove. It's an absolutely fantastic mix, and if you haven't checked this band out yet, scope out Wildfire, and you'll understand exactly why they belong not only on this list, but belong in any list that has to do with thrash metal up-and-comers. They have a lot to offer, and they're only going to continue to improve. Number 6 is Lich King. This 10-year veteran of the modern thrash distinction just released an absolutely phenomenal album here in 2017, which continues their legacy and their legend. Could the best still be yet to come for this band? Oh man, the real display that their last album was able to give with tracks such as Civilization, which employed the use of some keyboards in a album that traditionally goes at 10,000 miles an hour. No, they ain't Dream Theater, but damn was that impressive. Scope out Lich King immediately. They have a new album that just came out 2 weeks ago. Number 5 is Lordbringer, and this is a group that really since their inception has gotten a lot of acclaim and has been seen as one of modern thrash's perhaps new saviors. Now, the material may not necessarily have completely gone in that direction. They're definitely not the new Metallica or anything like that, but they've still been able to deliver above-average thrash metal even amid some lineup fluctuations, and they still have been able to deliver just great material even amid some social explorations. This is a great band and a terrific one. If you don't know this name, then you haven't been following modern thrash very closely and should probably get on board. Number 4 is Municipal Waste, and what are they going to do? They're going to fuck you up. This is the band that shows a little bit more of that crossover variety, a lot more of that punk influence, however, within the thrash metal envelope. It's something where the shredding speeds, short run times, and oftentimes comedic lyricism only add to the charm. Their live shows are frantic, ridiculous, and altogether mayhem, and that's what gives them a ton of their charm. This is a group that whenever you mention modern thrash, or perhaps thrash in general, here in the new millennium, it's very difficult not to mention their names, of course, if you're not mentioning the ones that have been around for 35 years. Municipal Waste is going to fuck you up, so give them a listen and let the fucking happen. That was some odd phrasing. Number 3 is Evil. This is a group that has been able to morph their sound and actually has started to sound a little bit more like that classic Big Four, especially whenever it comes to the Metallica and Megadeth department. While some people might say that they're drawing on some influence from bands such as Machine Head, those two are able to really deliver something forward that has that sort of big grandiose feel to it. I kind of disagree with that. Evil is instead of a band that is using their pacing to their advantage, opting to not necessarily blind you with speed, but instead blind you with their fantastic musicianship, with their craft, with their overall body of work, and the way in which their songs are constructed. What lands them so high on this list is not necessarily the wealth of material that's out there under this name, but the solidarity behind it. The fact that each of these albums feels like it's gotten better than the last, not to mention that all of them feel like almost instantaneous classics. Number 2 is Havok. Oh my lord. Havok, with Conformicide, solidifies themselves as one of the undisputed kings of new modern thrash. You take a look at an album such as Time Is Up and you're immediately impressed, but then Conformicide, able to take that socio-political view a little bit and have it not overdraw or overdrain you and sort of send you into this soapbox mentality. Man, these guys have done everything right, and this album was just an absolute banger. This has Album of the Year potential written all over it, and whenever you're talking about an album that had to precede, or should I say, succeed albums by Creator and Overkill here in 2017, they certainly did everything to impress. They put their best foot forward, and they are not stepping back. Look for Havok to become a major player in the next couple of years. Yes, I know they already were a major player before this, but look for their name to start to spread across the unholy territory of this planet Earth. And that brings us to number 1, which is Vector. Now, yes, they have only a couple of albums to their name, but Vector is certainly one of the top, if not the top, modern thrash metal band, mainly because of their creativity, mainly because what they have done means for the remainder of thrash metal, or thrash metal of the future. Vector is one of the bands that I immediately think about whenever mentioning the term hybrid metal, using thrash metal as essentially a backbone, and then allowing some black metal riffage to seep in, some progressive side to seep in, some space metal, and some other ideas in order to really deliver the full package. Vector is a band whose fundamental component is based off of thrash, and they have been able to utilize that to almost the most extreme of varieties, to give thrash a brand new, fresh identity and show that this is a genre that's just like the core idea, where it can legally and literally be applied to anything and sound fantastic. If you've not listened to Terminal Redux, if you've not listened to any of their prior albums such as Black Future, I immediately implore you to do so. Each one of these is an instantaneous classic. They have not released a poor album yet. That is why Vector is not only the kings for right now, but could be the kings for a while, even with the band basically now being a one-piece with other people that weren't there before and all of that other drama stuff. I don't think that drama stuff is going to actually cause a damn dent in anything. If anything, it may give Vector a fresh philosophy to run off of. Their next pairing of albums could be even more unpredictable than the initial trio. Well, there you have it, ladies and gentlemen, and this is a list that actually came across thanks to Andy Fox and the fine people over at the coverkillernation stream chats, considering we are doing the 50-50 charity Streamapalooza here in April and also in May. Now everything is going toward one-of-a-kind pets. It's a 50-50 thing, so 50% of it is to keep the lights on, 50% of it's going to one-of-a-kind pets. Fantastic, fantastic place. If you've been watching this stuff here on the channel, you know I've been talking about it. Great facility that takes all the cats and dogs that are on death row and other facilities and brings them there, gives them a second chance to be adopted. It's one of the cleanest, best facilities I've ever seen, and it runs exclusively on donations. So if you can help them out, there's a link in the description box below for you to do so. And also, you can do so during the streams. There is a nice box that you can't see me right now that tells you the link for the streams. If you see it, then definitely show up and hang out, and let's help a good cause together. Do you agree with this list? Let me know in the comments below. Are there any bands that I missed? Do the same thing. I'm coverkillernation, and I'll talk to you guys next time whenever we do another list of modern bands within heavy metal. Take care.